Welcome to Obstacle Running Adventures.
Going back to, Podium 100, obviously we can't talk about each individual one, but which ones stick out the most to you?
The parts that stick out the most are ones I'd say the ones where my expectations was not I didn't think I was going to podium coming in.
Hmm.
Where when my results exceed my expectations, those are the ones I feel like I was most excited about. So we finished second at Pro Co-ed at North American OCR Championships. Me, Amy Pagic, and Matt Willis. We didn't think we were going to podium, and it rained and people couldn't get across obstacles, and we did. So that was super. That was one I was like awkwardly touching Ryan Atkins on the
Yes,
podium
yeah.
because the only time I've been with it, I can touch him on the podium. So
I think
um,
Suso was watching you, like, what are you doing here?
yeah, it's a great picture. It's such a good, and Amy Pagic is fucking dying next to me. So that's another good one. Yeah. Um anyone where last minute change, right? So Battle of the Lions, I was right near I moved into first with like 50, I mean not first. I moved into third with like 50 feet left.
Ooh.
Essentially one of my teammates was on the low rig, had a cramp, fell off, and I made it across. And that's another one. I'm coming across the line screaming, and my daughter is in the background of the picture also screaming, like in the same pose. It's a great picture. And Jacob Stone, another one of our OCR America 2 guys, was at the finish line, and I like hugged him. Um, my first win at Conquer the Gauntlet, where I actually got a gauntlet. That's another one. Again, ran across the line, I like hugged David Main Prize, like screaming. Um, those are some of the big ones. Obviously, like anytime I put him at toughest or worlds when I did the team, those are big ones because the amount of effort you expend over 12 and 24 hours is just huge.
Yeah.
So those are really special. And then the last kind of one I'll categorize is anytime I was on a team and I helped someone else get their first podium. Those were really cool. Because at some point over 100, it just becomes like, this is just what I do. So you lose
Right.
some of the excitement.
Yep.
And when I help other people get their first podium, it like brings it back, and you just get like you feed off their energy. So we did a race called Hammer Race where you carry 10-pound sledgehammers, and
Yes.
you like through the whole race and you hit things. And when we won, I think there was 2 or 3 guys on that team that helped I got their first podium. One of them was Jacob Stone again.
Mm.
And when we won these like Thor hammers, and I
Ooh.
got this picture of all of us holding up the Thor hammers, like calling down lightning at the finish line. It's
Okay,
so
yeah.
good.
Oh, that's so good.
Um, so that one holds a special place. And we our friend Brian, who's I think he was 50 at the time, we pushed him so hard because they only gave the hammers to first place. And it was like, Brian, we're gonna turn it up. And he's like dying. And I'm like, now we're turning it up. And he's like, what? In his mind, he's like, I thought we turned it up already. So yeah, those are some special ones that kind of stick out.
Yeah, I love the thought of, not expecting the podium. I think of actually going back to Amy Pagic. There was a Savage race. I can't remember which one, but Lindsay Webster was doing phenomenal, but it was raining. She was off her game. She hadn't been training as much, whatever the excuse was. And Amy got to pass her and take first, and she beat Lindsay Webster. Like that, those kind of moments are what make OCR so special. Is that there are so many variables that like anything can really happen. Like who is trained for the most, anything that could happen, and that's what makes the sport so special.
I completely agree. I love the variability and the number of options and different obstacles and layout. I think that, yeah,
Yeah.
100% agree. I got a couple of articles coming out for the OCR report
Mm.
that talk a little bit about some of the stuff we're kind of touching on here.
Yeah.
So,
And it's exponentially so for ultra races too.
yeah, definitely.
And then for finishing this one, I saw you got some big ass balloons for 100.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad brought some balloons, so we brought them out, and they were surprisingly unwieldy. Like I was like, oh, they'll just generally float in the correct order, and they did not. So we had to. It took a long time to get the picture where like they're all like actually properly laid out, and it took 4 people to hold it. I tried doing it by myself, and I don't want to tell you what it looked like, but 2 circles and one thing, you can figure out
Look at
what it looked
that.
like. I was like, what? It's like, how does this even happen? So
And I know how like ridiculously hard it can be to manage those two because I think when we like celebrated our first 100 episodes, like we did the same thing with balloons, and yeah, it was embarrassing the amount of time it took to get like a picture that we liked for that.
yeah.
So Caitlin asks, how do you balance family time, training, work? Like how do you balance all of this?
It's a good question. The best answer is having a very understanding wife.